Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest. You'll take the week off. Get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
The fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Newton now to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Cameron Jordan is now one of those versatile defensive linemen who can play all up and down the front. Whether he's playing tackle or end, he knows how to make plays.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Newton. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Yellow lady. Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Check, check, check.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. On second down, Kamara. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
21.
From the 30 on second down, Brees. Smith catches left side.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Brees to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Big completion there on 3rd and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and it's picked up by the Panthers.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Brees now to throw. And complete right side to Cook.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Brees on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Throwing on third down, Newton. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. From the 44, Brees. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get it.
From the gun on third down, Brees. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long, it's Newton. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Now they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, first down. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and inches, Brees.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and 11 now. Brees throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. But now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Brees. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Newton, quick slant, caught by Moore. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 30.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Newton now to throw. And caught left side, Olsen. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on Divisional Round Weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful Divisional Round Weekend. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 26. Throwing on first down is Brees. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Brees. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive line.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 29 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. To throw again on second down. Newton, he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On first down, it's Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. And an alley to run.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC Divisional Round game. And it was the Dallas Cowboys who are moving on to the next round as they knock off the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 15 yards on the play, first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Now this throw caught left side, and they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 43.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Again, it's Kamara. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Brees now on first down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 30 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Shoves him aside. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player having that type of a day because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, He's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns, but all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more on that one and another first down. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator. When we clip out the box score, nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw with Brees. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 17-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Working from the gun, it's Brees. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw is Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Cameron Jordan, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Newton to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will get them 1 closer. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken at its 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brees. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Brees to throw. And Ginn's got it. Brees to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Looking long for Thomas, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just did one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what could hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They run it again with Kamara. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Now Brees on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, Went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Newton on third down. Completes it to Samuel. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They were making plays on the football, contesting everything.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They get this again. Jet sweep. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Throwing now is Brees. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up with feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. Just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chris Hogan, 75 yards. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
You got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they have the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. That they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA.